Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's more like evening these days. We're already into, that's not 6:14, 7:14, yeah. So we are getting there. We're just waiting to ready up. We just had the knife round. So good luck, have fun, exchange between the teams. It is MCA versus Loaded. And for MCA, it is Zem, Kasparov, Svo, Nutek, and Souls. You may recognize some names. Souls from Serious Gaming. That's the one I'm after. I think it's Supreme, but who is Serious Gaming? Who's one of the players. And obviously Kasparov in there from long ago. Svo, of course, also in there with from Coma Crew. Loaded is going to be Impaler, Limitless, Juvenile, Keith Zoo, and Curious G. And we are into the game. It is all even at 4-4. Grenade rattling down on Limitless there. Curious G getting a double frag on Nutek there. Svo going down as well. Zem also being tagged up. It is backlot. The map veto kind of went the way of Loaded, and then MCA realized they got a choice of Crash or backlot. Well, I think Svo was having some serious nightmares about Crash and Pandemic before, so they were flashbacks and thought, hell no, we're not going on there, we're going on backlot. So they weren't happy with either of them, I gotta be honest. We saw, well, you didn't see, I saw Dignitas on backlot earlier, and it's one of those maps that really can be a good chance. Curious G on a mission here. He's taking down Zem. I'm going to check how many frags he's got. He's got 3 that I know of already. Soul's the last man standing. Tagged up. Souls of sniping legends, really, before. I've probably gone and cursed him now. Yes, I have. Limitless is there. And Curious G, yeah, he picked up 3 in there. Keith Zoo with the opening frag. So the first round goes to Loaded. The Americans, they've come a long way for this. Their first match against Power Gaming did not go the way they wanted. Keith Zoo said, you know, we need to realize we're going to have to adapt our tactics. We know we need to change things up. We're going to try and play our game, but when it's hitting the fan, we know we need to adapt, and that's their plan now. And this is for the qualifying stages. Curious G landing a shot onto Zem. He goes down. Keith Zoo is also down. Morg is waving just to say hi. Kasparov downs Curious G. Kasparov was in the team that won the ATA Challenge long ago. Right here in Enschede at the Wizengadium Center. It's about 2 years ago, I'd say. Oh, Deagle with Juvenile, but Kasparov comes out the better. Impaler, last man standing. It's got to go 4-on-1, not going to happen. Nutek there, and that's the round to MCA all square. So MCA at the moment on the attack, Loaded with that defensive strategies. Haven't spotted whether there's a scope being used by Juvenile, actually. This is one of those maps that sometimes people choose the scope. No, he's got SMG. I don't know whether there is any scopes, actually. It is one of those maps that people tend to go AK and SMGs. Kasparov flashed up outside A. A little bit careful, what do they say? Keith Zoo takes down Kasparov. Svo onto Curious G. Svo going looking for frags. Hunting, Limitless down Souls. Souls was with the scope. Svo got someone near. Is it just me? I can hear music or something. Don't know, maybe it's just me. I'm hearing things in my ear. Nutek, last man standing for MCA as he downs Impaler. Juvenile and Keith Zoo. Aha. Thought I could hear music. Don't know. It's like some sort of funky tune going on. Juvenile downs Nutek, and that is the second round to Loaded. Third round, sorry. How random of music just to cut in. But what is that funky beat? Let's start doing things to that later on. Dancing around. Shame you can't see it on camera. RoboCam's not looking at me, so it's all good. I'll have to keep checking, make sure it's this. Kasparov with a double frag down. Impaler, Curious G, Svo down in Juvenile as well. Limitless tries to even things up with a double kill of his own on Zem, Souls, and Nutek there. Triple frag for Limitless. Very nicely done. Keith Zoo taking down Svo, and Loaded from going 5-on-2 to evening things up and dragging it back. Kasparov last man standing. He's got a double or triple, but Keith Zoo's there. Nice play from Keith Zoo. And Limitless absolutely dominating in B-Sniper there. So, started bad, ended well. 3-1 lead for Loaded. Here on the defensive side of backlot. Keith Zoo going forward. Just every time I see Keith, I just think of Nabor. Nice shot, Keith! You can check that out on video on demand at the Antwerp Esports Festival. Some superb games on there from Pandemic. As Kasparov downs Keith Zoo as he peeks around in lower A. Limitless, Enchanted taking bullets, taking fire rattling around him. Impaler and Juvenile get a frag of their own. Kasparov and Nutek down. Impaler in lower. Got Juvenile with him, Souls with that scope. Like I mentioned, some teams don't go with scope. Souls certainly is with a nice headshot onto Juvenile. Limitless also downed it by Svo. Impaler, last man standing, 4 loaded. Gonna go big. Zem, Svo and Souls. Lots of experience between those 3 players. Bomb plant sounded.
Explosives
Impaler
planted.
looks, sees him. Misses with the deagle, landed with a couple of tags, but Svo's there in support, just right up behind him. Didn't check them corners, and Svo was ready and waiting. It was from the Tex trailer, but it's from Tex. Yeah. Nice shot, kid. I don't know, it was on the summit. Jesus, they were within a week of each other. How the hell am I meant to know? I cast about 200 matches in those 2 games. Excuse me if I get a game wrong. Or it's definitely, I remember it now. And Impaler's actually taking up the Nabor cheer, the woo! Almost like running linebacker. Juvenile down in Souls, Limitless on Zem. It's 4-2, loaded, looking good for the money here. And they certainly spent a lot of it to get in here. It's a long, long trip. It's not one of those late night games. They played till about 4 or 5 a.m. last night. It was some long night of gaming for them. We didn't cast it all. Souls downs Keith Zoo as he rushes in towards lower A. Juvenile comes through the smoke. Svo with a grenade rattling in there. Impale again down. There is one man to the side. It was Juvenile down in Kasparov. I just caught a glimpse of someone as he flashed past as well. You can just catch the shadows. Whether you can make out the map dots, I certainly can. Souls on Curious G with a second headshot of the round. Takes a peek around. Juvenile on Nutek. That's his second frag of the round. Juvenile being tagged up. Souls tagged up and ran. Zem tagged up by Limitless. Limitless jumping out of Shanty. Juvenile still in upper A. Souls is looking for him. Souls, actually he's gone across towards the right-hand side of the map. Now he's going to peek across. It's exactly where Juvenile was a moment ago. Juvenile goes down to Zem. It's going to be an A push. Limitless last man standing. He's in a dangerous position. He's got 2 to his back. If he looks to the right, he'll see one now. And it was Souls coming on through. And that is 4-3. It's still very close. Fnatic stood behind the well, Stevie more that stood behind his Dutch friends. Former team that he used to be in long ago, along with Svo. Fnatic, of course, going to be playing Korgs after Korgs topped the group against Dignitas. You'll be able to check out the playoff brackets and stages, etc. against over on Crossfire.nu. They're going to have the standings over there, obviously on Tech9 Cadred. They're all in attendance, and Steve right now on cue taking a picture of a lot of crowds in front of us, all crammed around the backs of Loaded. Zem, Svo, Nutek and Souls. Svo get downs Juvenile. Limitless. Keith Zoo and Curious G. Curious G we are in camera with as he downs Nutek. Gets around, gets in track one, has to dodge, gets just out of the way. Limitless to the side of him, bidding support though. He downs Zem, backs away as well. Souls the last man standing as Svo goes down to Keith Zoo's Deagle. Souls tagged up heavily just through that wall, picks out his scope. It was Limitless taking the shots, but he has support. Souls catches a glimpse, doesn't manage to land the shot though. It was Limitless that ended up getting the frag in the end, but I gotta think it was Curious G he was firing at. And that is 5-3 to Loaded. Good defensive round here. Quite slow, strategical for a game on backlot. Some of these rounds used to end in seconds in the days of Reason Dignitas raging through. But of course, Fnatic, they used to be huge on this map. Kasparov making his way through, taking down Keith Zoo early. Kasparov has been getting into A very quickly. Souls on Limitless. Curious G and Juvenile though, down in Svo and Nutek, making things all square once again to 3-on-3. Svo has to back away. Limitless has been fantastic in B at the moment. He's been clearing that position, takes a peek. Curious G nearly takes a head off Souls. Zem does go down. Juvenile Impaler on Kasparov. That was in A. Flash goes out. Impaler moves, but I don't think that flash quite landed where he wanted it. 2-on-2. Zem and Souls versus Impaler. Curious G. Souls backtracking. Zem on top of Garage. Looking round. Curious G, he can hear just down the bottom, and there was Curious G, shuts him straight out. Souls now last man standing. He's been tagged, so they must have tracked his movements. It is Curious G and Impaler. Curious G just to the left of him. Actually, he's backed away, and he's now on the forward right-hand side of him as he moves on through. He has the bomb. However, he only has scope. He doesn't have Deagle out. Tries to come in. Almost lands the second Deagle. Tries to go for the knife. Curious G is there. Souls couldn't quite land it. And now it is 6-3. Loaded looking good. Value for the money now. This is a good defensive round. Question is, how is their attack on backlot? We don't know. I mean, North American tactics, they could change. Obviously, we've got legends forming with many top players from EG and Pandemic also in that. Kasparov down, Impaler once again. Kasparov gets Keith Zoo. Kasparov has been very good over in the A site. Svo also picking off Juvenile. Limitless has disappeared from his usual spot. Curious G on Souls. Kasparov laying down the smoke. Bomb currently loose. He has one in front of him. It was Curious G, and he's been taken down. 6-4 now. Good round to MCA. Let's have a quick look at the scores. You can tell that, like I say, Svo and Kasparov fragging well. Curious G and Limitless on 10 as well. In fact, I've got to say, Loaded very evenly spread, but Impaler once again bottom fragging. Limitless with that grenade onto Nutek. Keith Su playing very cautious. He came face to face with Kasparov too many times in this A site. Curious G does down Svo early on. Souls on Juvenile with the Deagle in response. Limitless peeking. He hasn't been able to get him to B this time. Backed away. Impaler's being patient. Curious G on Souls. Zem peeking. How on earth? That's really got to do your eyesight. Do that. Zem just got a glimpse of someone on the backside. I think that might well have been Impaler. It was. Impaler tagged up. Zem, the last man standing for MCA here. And this is going to be to take it to 7-4, and that would be a very good round for Loaded. And surely, with the bomb loose and 4 men to take down with 48 seconds on the clock, it's asking a hell of a lot from Zem. Slows down. Limitless in position. Curious G in position. Curious G just in the lower garage, getting dodging, being tagged, but Limitless is there in support. Really nice support work from Loaded here. As soon as the gunfire starts, as soon as one person's being tagged, there's another one checking the positions. And so far they are playing that cover fire very well. Remember, no scope being used by Loaded. This is the kind of tactics I do expect on backlot. Scope is very hard to get working on backlot. It's not one of those you can get many positions from. Juvenile and Impaler down in Kasparov and Nutek very early on. Limitless peeking round. Impaler still in defensive positions. MCA 2 men down. Souls is wondering, and he has actually switched up to the AK-47. He's dropped that scope, so maybe he's realized it's not working. And suddenly looks around. Juvenile down Svo. Tagging up. Souls does get himself a frag onto Juvenile. Also saw a second, didn't manage to land anything on him though. They know that he's in B. Oh, he's wide open. There he was. And that jump down to kind of alert his position. He's got one to the left, one dead ahead now. Just to the left-hand side. I think it's Curious G to the side. There's Limitless as well. Curious G and Limitless have been working very well as a combo, but they've got 2 men now working in. Zem's with him. Souls pushes in. Curious G is there. So Zem now on his own. He knows he's got Limitless just around the corner. There's Keith Zoo, and it's 8-4. A very good half for Loaded in the first round. First half, should I say. Second half coming up, and Loaded are looking good. How will their attack play out? That's the question. That weird sound is me drinking water, if it sounds a bit funny on stream. Trying to oil my voice as best I can. A lot of people crowded around to watch this game. And we were just talking to Vanna earlier about, you know, some of the teams that are here that haven't quite performed, you know, it's just a different environment when you're at home, sat at your computer, sat in a comfy position you've played many, many hours in, to be thrown into a room with hundreds of people stood around watching you. You're on desk you're not comfortable with. You can't quite get your sensitivity right. You're not comfy in your chair. Things just don't go right for you. It happens sometimes. And that really is the difference between the top players and the good players, as it were. And this is surely going to be a loaded round. But Nutek has managed to, Curious G, sorry, has managed to get the bomb plant. Nutek is the last man standing. You'd assume then they're going to take it. Kitsu's there. It's 9-4. A quick look at the fragging. We can see Limitless, Curious G, and Juvenile, all with 12 and 13, leading the charge. So Kasparov actually, since I mentioned it, has not managed to pick up a single frag. Grenades landing everywhere. Cars exploding left, right, and center. It is a big, big push on A as Curious G works his way in. As Zem takes down Impaler right in the view of Curious G. Juvenile down in Nutek. Tags from the side on Curious G. He's got someone coming around the back. He was supposed, spraying and praying. Kitsu comes behind, but Kasparov in support. And Juvenile now, last man standing, for loaded, just in his entire team, gunned down. Cold, cold blood. Zem, Kasparov, and Souls. Souls with that scope, continuing. He is in the defensive side, though. Defense tends to work better for the scope. However, they've just taken it out of the game since they've gone nowhere near B. Kasparov looking. Zem in rear defense. Juvenile on a rotation. Goes looking for frag. Oh, but Souls was there with a headshot. I think it was the Deagle he used. I'm not sure it was Deagle or SMG. So, 9-5 the score. MCA not out of it yet. The Dutch mixed team. Curious G. Juvenile with a grenade. Curious G with the bomb. Takes Kasparov out of the game. Comes around. Kitsu on Souls. Nutek down. Souls, I think, switching to AK again. Realised he was being taken out of the game by loaded, pushing onto that site. Wasn't happy with his position. Juvenile in the meantime. Makes that push. Zem, Svo, and Nutek around against 4 members. Nutek goes down to Curious G. Impaler peeking. Svo lands a headshot onto Juvenile. Svo being tagged up left, right, and centre from the top of Garage by the looks of it. Lots of tracer fire going in and around him. He just got a glimpse staying around that block just to stop as many bullets as he can. Smoke going out. Really trying to confuse, daze, mislead. It is Zemsvo.
Explosives planted.
Kitsu and Curious G. Curious G gets that bomb planted over at B. Svo knows he's got someone here still. You can hear them. Here he goes looking. You can hear the tracer fire. Zem downs Kitsu. Jumping sounds of Svo. Lead Impaler straight to him. Curious G as well picking up a frag, and nice defensive work. Loaded managed to get the bomb plant down on B. Random. as expect this has to show me a scary face of a cat. So random sometimes. Nutek and Zem with double grenade frags there, not double. 2 kills on loaded. Opening up the frags. Juvenile works his way in. He was tagged up heavy as well. Then blips clear, and he's back to full health. 10-5, the current lead for loaded here. The Americans looking to go through, and should they finish second in the group, which is looking like they will at the moment, as Juvenile downs them, then they will, I think, face Infinity Skills. I think it might well be the Hungarian team, who have had a very good group stages and top the group ahead of Pentagram, which Power Gaming versus Pentagram. That's a bit of a match as well. I'll tell you what, there is some tasty, tasty matches in the playoffs. Juvenile, though, down to a one-on-one. Manages to get the bomb plant in. Nutek is the defending player for MCA. Moving incredibly slow. Just got a glimpse of Juvenile, as did Nutek. Trying not to give his position away. Looks around. Well, he knows he's there, and Juvenile's surely just going to hide. There's no reason for him to come looking for a frag. And Nutek is forced to make a move. 20 seconds on the clock. Tosses the smoke down. Is he going to go for anything? Juvenile playing it clever. Comes through. Nice work from Juvenile. And Nutek led astray. Tried to fake it. But Juvenile wasn't falling for it. 11-5. Just 2 rounds remain for Loaded to win this game. However, MCA are going to have a long way to try and bring this to a draw. However, even if it's a draw, I'm not too sure what the round situation would be. Keith downs Kasparov. Kasparov's grenade landed on Juvenile. Kurishi with the bomb. Is he going to rotate? Can't choose his position just yet. He's got players in there. Keith goes hunting for frags. Limitless goes hunting for souls. Souls rattles out a shot onto Impaler. Limitless ready and waiting. There was Souls. You just got a glimpse of him peeking around. Limitless was down. Nutek downs Keith Sue. This is suddenly looking like MCA's round. Last man standing. Curious G tags out Svo as he dashes out of A. Going to peek across. He knows Souls is in and around this B sniper house somewhere. Can't find him. He's backed away. Curious G still with the bomb. He's had it since the start with his SMG. Works his way in towards the bomb site. Looking, scouting. MCA cleverly backed away. No reason to charge in there. Now they know his position. They're going to close in. He gave a couple of shots out. He knows that someone's down there. Souls with the scope. And Souls picking up, I think, 3 or 4 in that round. It was a 3-rounder for Souls. Currently, no one really doing horrendous in the fragging. There's always going to get a few lower end, but there is no Slayers here. Juvenile with the bomb. Tosses out the grenades. Nobody going down to the open. Need exchanges this time. Impaler does down Kasparov as they work their way in towards A site. Keith Sue dashing on through. Getting very aggressive. Taking down Nutek. Comes around. Takes down Souls. Very nice work from Keith Sue there. Surely going to be a B push now. Juvenile gets down by Svo. Curious G on to Svo in response. He's got that garage position covered. Keith Sue went very aggressive, and suddenly he finds a second one. It is Zem, the last man standing. And there it is, Keith Sue picking up 3 or 4 in that round. It was 3, Keith Sue and Impaler, and suddenly it is match point for Loaded. Looking at going through to face Infinity Skills. I'm pretty sure it's Infinity Skills. I haven't looked at the group, so I'm almost certain they've chopped the group. Juvenile down Svo. Curious G hops up into position. Takes a look around. Souls to the right though. And he knows he's there. Can hear the gunfire going out. Keith Sue does down Souls. That is B clear. Surely Impaler going to rush in. Kasparov down. And this is looking like a good round for Loaded. MCA realised that the goose is cooked, as it were, as Zem and Nutek are the last 2 remaining. Juvenile down. Curious G down. Nutek saying no, not yet. But he's down by Limitless even, sorry. Zem now on all alone as Keith Sue gets that bomb planted. Echoed goes out as the explosive's planted and Zem gets flashed entirely. Good games go out. See you in 12 months. Next LAN. Isuba won apparently. So that means I think Isuba go through. 13-1, that's a big win. Limitless ends the game, 13-6. That is nice play from Loaded. Finally getting to grips with how they should have performed in their first game, and they were disappointed with that. They won't be disappointed with the result, and they're going to go through versus Infinity Skills, and they've got a good chance against Infinity Skills, I think.